So as for the timing, I think we are on almost on the dot. I will wait for Atik to join in. And Naresh, as we were talking about the agenda, I have kept a very brief agenda like
Right.
this, right?
Mm.
And I will definitely give a brief overview where we are and how we would like to. And wherever, let me know if Atik joins in, then we'll kick off.
Right.
And when we define this, the agenda, we looked at that how this should be
Atik
impacted.
joined.
Okay, good morning, Atik. How are you?
Good morning, Alak. How are you?
Oh, very, very well. I was waiting for you to kick off. Yeah, so this is perfect time to
I'm
kick
happy.
off our meeting. And I'm so proud and so happy and so glad that this is going to be a historic event in the making of Centric. First formal kickoff meeting to see how this year is looking for us and what did you do last year. So this last fiscal 2021 has been very defining year for all of us. And as I always say, this is basically disclaimer that whatever we'll be talking about, it might have some impact due to the COVID, due to certain uncertainties which is happening across the globe. Now, agenda we have worked out in terms of we are really looking at the marching orders this year. And I have lined up very distinguished speakers, all our team members, and I will be introducing as they come along. So I'm not going to go around the table for introduction. Rather, I will introduce the members as they come along. Now, as I see this year, I'm very, very people person, and I have always been compassionate. And that's why the centric name comes about, right? So centric is people centric, customer obsessed. Uh, and there are, focus and initiative which I'm driving, hiring a lot of customer success manager. Pratishtha has joined in Delhi. She must be listening and must be there. So she has been working with me to ensure anytime if customer has any request, she has to respond and she has to be on the call. So that is the customer obsession we are talking about. Vijay and Intertech team is aware even at 12 in the night, or sometime Vaibhav has jumped in 3 a.m. in the morning to address the customer presentation and customer demo. That defines how obsessed we are for customers and the partners as well. Naresh is the testimony how I am partner centric in terms of go to market, in terms of supporting the partner sales, all of that. So we are so partners focused. Our business is going to grow globally with our partners. And obviously, I do love and care all our employees. My always, emotions are there with people who are building this company. Now, all the engineering team today listening to me, including the team in India, team in Europe, team in here, and we have all the team members distributed. And this team will be expanded and extended. Naresh is kind enough to extend his team as well to us. And Atik, I'm going to schedule a meeting with you, the vision which Naresh is outlining, and you will hear him as we talk about. So that is about employees. So it is not only as a startup employees which we are talking about, but how we are extending. And in the North America as well, we are hiring and engaging with people. And all the shareholders of the company, they know that they will see the result sooner or later as they're building this company. And we are not ignoring competition. So Vaibhav is going to talk about the competition which we are facing at this time and how we are going to differentiate ourselves. Now, our core values you have seen, I have talked about earlier. We wanted to be global from the day one. We have presence here in North America. We have presence in Middle East and Africa out of Dubai. Now, Frank is based in Germany. So we are now outreaching across Europe. And India is our dev center. So we are enriching, empowering our dev center in India with the help of Intertech in India so that we should be able to really build the resources very quickly. AI is the way forward, artificial intelligence, and we are impacting profitability with our platform and with personalized customer support. Now, unique value proposition, as always, people ask me, what is your unique values? We say that CEO, CFO, COO, they all look for profitability, how they will maximize revenue, reduce the cost, and optimize. And this is what we are going to do. But the centerpiece is customer satisfaction, and how are they going to recommend the product and services of the customer. So NPS is important, and all of this we have built over time. I would not be delighted today to say that our executive leadership is getting strengthened every day. Ever since Atik has come on board, my level of confidence has doubled up. And I'm seeing the future with that vision that we will grow this and we'll make this company unicorn as I'm talking today, right? So we are now defining, we are having a lot of energy from our engineering and the management leadership, and you'll see as they talk. This is our team. All of you know our engineering team is led by Dilip and Frank and Don. So all of these people have been talking to them all the time. But today, all the engineering team has an opportunity to meet all of us. We don't talk normally with every engineering team members every day or every week, but this is the time I'm communicating that, guys, you are unsure. You are in a company where you will have future career. For next 12 months, we are on a good path. So financially, we are stable, strong, and we are committing that this company is going to grow. So that is what I'll give the message to our engineering team as they're building a very powerful platform and the product. This is a strong advisory team. Now, Professor Sinha has been our chief mentor right from the day one when I started talking about it. Now, I have brought in, I have expanded Mike Thamer from UC Berkeley. He is also going to empower us with AI because this company in DNA is AI. Maybe the roadmap, the path which we are taking is taking time, but this is going to be AI company. Okay. Accenture Vaibhav is now coming on board and he is really building up humbly, very modestly, how the path forward is looking like AI company. And obviously Jignesh is coming from Google. Now, this is what I was talking about. These two leaders are going to change the course of our company as we are building it, right? So Jignesh and Vaibhav from industry who's who in the AI space. Accenture is defining the path and Google is building the entire AI engine behind. So we have them coming and helping us on that. Very powerful approach in terms of how we are going to convert our platform for the business profitability for our customer, increasing omni-channel revenue, reducing operational cost, and then with the AI ML, with all data lake capability. Vaibhav is going to talk about it. And we are giving containerized and serverless. That means we are going to be very agile in delivering and deploying this solution. Human-centered design approach. Now, I credit this to Vaibhav. Vaibhav is coming from consultative background. He has very deep thinking in terms of how we should be able to enable our customers. When we talk to our CFO and CEO, we start looking at the human first. Why CEO is troubled? Why the CFO is having sleepless night? Why CEO is having some kind of a profitability issue by which he is having a lot of concerns of his business and the team. So now we are looking at them first and then looking at how we can help them, how we can help them with innovation and build solution which is sustainable to delight their customer. So think about our long-term vision is we are building innovative platform, but delighting customer is our key message. Our customers, definitely they will be delighted and we are giving love and care and nurturing them to build the solution. But their customers should also say that what system you're offering, how are you running this so that they are happy as well. Now, this is what I always say that we are living in a very unpredictable global environment. Just a week ago, we were having so peaceful, but suddenly the world war is around, right? Everybody is watching the news. What is going to happen? So that is where we are talking about agility, preempting the future before it occurs. This book came out some time ago, but it still holds very relevance. And the relevance is that business leaders who are running their business, they should be able to predict so that they should, correct it before the situation goes worse and the business goes for a disaster. So we are talking about semantics, we are talking about self-service, and we're talking about artificial intelligence driven profitability. Now, this is the platform our engineering team has built. I'm complimenting them, led by Dilip and Frank and Don, who has contextualized Profit Edge, which is very adaptive in nature. When I say adaptive in nature, we are trying to help our business leader to discover what is going to be their business processes, where are the cost metrics can be automated, how they can prepare for best action, and how they should be able to see the all data in one umbrella. So analysis is very important, and how they should be able to predict for the right recommendation. So we are bringing machine to human help. Now think about the salespeople, they need help to know which customer they should serve better. So we are helping them on the smart device, and we are also giving them interactive visualization. So you can't read so many numbers, but we are giving the visual appeal so that they will be able to sort and iterate, and then they will be able to give right answers to their customer. Why Profit Edge? Because it is helping in terms of business agility. We are helping our business leaders, our customer business leaders to roll application very quickly, self and going to be deployed on cloud. And this is where I'm talking about financial efficiency. I'm negotiating the deal with a large customer. Maybe I'll be flying out to New York this week, large hotel group of 110 hotels, and they have this part of it that they wanted to maximize on their investment. They are looking at acquiring properties, but they don't want to invest on the operational cost. So no capex on the operation. Software doesn't need to be capital expenditure. A scale on demand. Today they wanted to go for 10 hotels, but they're talking to me about 1,000 hotels. The moment 1,000 hotels they're bringing in, that means they want talking about M&A. And Atik and I talked about it. So how we are going to be looked at by our customers, our partners. We are very nimble, but we are very valuable for customers. So that is what I'm giving the message here, optimizing on the spend, leveraging existing investment. Now, these are our solutions. Markets segment, Vaibhav is going to talk about in detail, and real-time predictability of revenue and cost with prescriptive and actionable guidance, right? So all of this is in two buckets: revenue maximizer, cost optimizer that enables Profit Edge. And this is a simple understanding in the business. You have to sell more at a lower cost, then only your GOP is going to be go higher. AI comes in there to show you all of that, where you can sell more, which customer is giving you better value, which customer is buying more. That is AI is going to help. So that means we are helping all the merchants, all the hoteliers on this aspect of it. At what cost they are doing. So we are also talking about that and how they can reduce the cost so that their profitability goes up. And you will see that everything coming on the smart devices as we demonstrate. We are building a good ecosystem. Our customers are very humble customers. And I'm proud to say that these customers are live now with Profit Edge 1.0. Now, Dilip is really having now, right now engagement with Jade Blues, Atara Hotel, Signum Hotel, and Surya Hotel, and deploying one after another. Partners, as you have seen, we have got cloud vendors, we have got integration vendors, we have our SI like Intertech is one of us, right? We are working together. We have signed up with Trajectors. We are also now negotiating with Infolob. And I might go to Infolob, which they are showing interest in that. So you'll see that, and all of this discussion I'm talking about here. Now, this is the point. This is the juncture where I will kick off the year with Atik. Now, Atik comes with a very strong background, and he is in the industry like who's who. When we talk about in the Silicon Valley, now, so Vinod Khosla and Atik went together, built larger organization, and build all of that. So without any further ado, I'll request Atik to give the message here to all our engineering team, all our sales leadership team, and all our management leaders. What do you see there? Is company governed strongly financially? Do you see this company in making for all of us? And how do you see this year for all of us, Atif?
Well, the critical lead, let me see why I'm having a little bit of a,
Yes.
okay. So now I don't hear an echo. So basically, what you just heard in terms of Allah expressing the vision of the company is very, very reassuring. If we execute on this vision, um, I can't see a pathway where you are not going to have a very significant success for this company. The critical direction is obvious, that the ability to help companies that are your customers improve their revenue and profit, it's a very straightforward requirement for every company to improve their profit and revenue. The critical team that Allah has now put together with the most recent ads with Vibev and other people that have come in with ML background, that is going to really help this company move forward in the direction that the vision is expressed. It's a very unique company in the sense that no other company has so far directly taken on this task. There will be significant things we still have to do as we go ahead in the go-to-market area. The identification of which segments we first, you basically go tactically, wherever you get an opportunity, you engage and you do as well as you can with the initial customers, as Allah just expressed in his previous slide. The second step is identifying segments of the market and customer verticals where your impact is going to be greatest. And the experience that many of you have, particularly Vaibhav, in guiding the product direction is going to be very critical in that area. That's the reason why I chose to get involved with Allah and why I became an investor and joined the board. I do believe that there is huge market awareness already that has been expressed with whoever so far Allah has interfaced with. That will have to continue to grow as your intersection with the customer base continues to grow. You have the initial sales traction with Profit Edge. We need to grow that. We need some strategic partnerships. And I think Allah is already on a path towards developing those strategic partnerships. If those partnerships coincide with a reseller relationship, that creates a very easy way for people to see how the line goes from a dotted line to a straight line. If we have 3 customers with these resellers, and we also have 3 customers in important verticals, that will become a very significant path forward and will catch the attention of anybody who wants to have further investment in the company. If these strategic partners also become investors, it'll be very easy to close the next round of funding with significant valuation, and you will get on the radar as Allah said in M&A. But let's not rush into M&A, because you have the potential of really building a very solid foundation of a company with significant value ahead. And I don't see a path where if you execute on what you're doing, you will be successful. I don't see a path to failure. I see a path towards success over here. So I congratulate Allah. I congratulate the whole team. Your mission, your direction, your critical mass is all coming together very rapidly. So I wish you all the very best, and I'm with you all the way.
Thank you so much, Atik. And today you will be, you are seeing already Intertech sales leadership led by Naresh. You have met Naresh, and Naresh and I talked about we'd like to meet up with you individually, one-on-one basis, so that you'll hear Naresh about his global perspective. And he has got Exec Vice President Thomas George, who has joined the team of Intertech in the Middle East and Africa to expand the innovative solution. So Thomas George is there, and under his leadership, you will have Vijay Jethani and other team members of Intertech sales team. So as I'm getting opportunity, I'm introducing to everybody who are in the meeting today, and most of the sales their team led by Thomas George and Naresh team is actively engaged with us to expand in Middle East and Africa. So with that, I'm now going to move on to the next topic, how Wabo is defining our product management strategy, go to market, and what is the roadmap looks like. Wabo, over to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex, and thanks, Satik, for putting confidence in me. So let me just start with who is our segment, what segment we are targeting in our this phase, and what are our customers are. So very first, that there are only two segments that we are targeting. One is retail and one is hospitality, and we already have significant presence in both of them and talking to both of them. So within these segments, when we go start talking to the customers, what kind of persona we are talking about, because that defines our sales pitch, that defines the way we are talking, and that defines how we are talking to them using human-centered design approach. So the very first in the top line that you see here, we are looking at the executives in finance and revenue. We do have many calls with them, so we try to understand what are they trying to do, what are their bottlenecks are before even going to pitch in our product. Second thing is we look into marketing and sales, and then technology and warehousing. So there are different kind of segments, different kind of people, different kind of persona that we talk about, and we are trying to define our sales pitch and our conversations in the way the language they understand. The last thing is what challenges do they face? And these are the challenges that we see that they face. The very first thing in the hospitality business, one of the CFOs, me and Alok were talking about, and the only thing that he wanted after a 1 hour call was, can you increase our gross operating profit? That's all he wants. If we can show increase in gross operating profit, we are in business. Then the second thing is they're increasing their revenue. They have faced significant headwinds due to COVID. And now it is a time where they can start building up in hospitality, and they're looking to increase revenue in all the ways. The last three things are more about engaging with the customers in real time. And this is happening all around us. Amazon has spoiled all of us, but the customer comes in, he stays in a hotel, or he comes in and buys a certain product from you from your retail shop. You need to keep them engaged throughout the process of when they are at your shop or when they are at your hotel. You understand how they are doing, and then do your promotion right on time. So those are the things that they are trying to do from different systems. And finally, it is all coming at to the NPS score and loyalty. So these are the segments, persona, and challenges that we are looking into, and these are the problems or use cases that we are trying to solve. Next slide. Next slide, yeah. So based on that, what our product looks like right now? Like Alok mentioned, we have a Profit Edge, and the Profit Edge release 1.0 was done. The main features, I couldn't put everything that a Profit Edge does in one slide, but the main features that you can think about is it helps you maximize the revenue. It really increases your gross profitability, optimizes your cost. We use the word optimizes because not everything can be brought down. So whatever can be done, we try to do it through predictive algorithms. And then overall, it brings your net profitability, increases your net profitability. So those are certain features, main features that Profit Edge does for you. And overall, Profit Edge is built on the Centriqe platform. When you are on the platform, you get a lot of things from there. So you get deep analytics, you get insights, you get the full power of AI and cloud and AWS. You get the instant communication and feedback, and overall, it brings you the net promoter score. These are, I think, Dilip will showcase the product later, but these are the at a very high level, at 20-foot high level. These are the main features that we provide. And overall, sorry, it's okay. Overall, we have tried to put the experience on top of everything. So our UI, our flow of UX, we have spent significant amount of time and effort, and that is one of our goals that we will do. It's all based on the experience of it. It's just not a product which gives you a certain model and certain. So let's think about, okay, we have built this, what else is in the market? Because when we go out talk to people, they come out, okay, we have got Medallia, but Medallia is an experience management platform. Then you have got Oracle Nor1, which is totally into hospitality sector, and some of the big chains are using them. What they do is they are helping you revenue maximize and upselling. There is another Anaplan we were talking about. It's more about AI, but we can go into the details of the Anaplan, but they take all the data like we do, but they do certain features of optimization in Anaplan. And then later comes in the CRM systems with Microsoft Dynamics, Salesforce, and others, which they are engaging all the transactions, putting on all the transactions, and putting Dynamics on cloud platform. They are trying to put all the data at one place like we are trying to do. now let's see, and this is directly coming from Accenture, where the cloud consumption is going in the industry and where the business value is. And if you see here, I'm not going into quantum computing, but the high value is coming around next generation loyalty, frictionless payments, personalized marketing, and the business value is on the right side. And next click, please. And these are the segments that Profit Edge and Centriqe are hitting. So basically, if you see, we are hitting the we are using cloud at a very high level, and we are hitting the most of the right side segments, creating much of the business value on the right side. So that is why when we go start talking to the executives in both these sectors, we do get entertained a lot. And now let's talk about the Profit Edge platform. So how we have built it around in 2021, and this is the structure that exists as of now. What happens is the client data comes in, all the relational data, all kinds of data comes in. It goes into a customer instance of a database, and then we provide statistical analysis and ML models on top of it to provide you both prescriptive and predictive analytics. And these are baked up into two products called Profit Edge and the whole platform. Excuse me. So in 2022, we are looking into these big products. And let's go to the next slide, and I'll talk about both of them in a broader way. So here is our product roadmap for this year. In the very first quarter, we released Profit Edge. We have modernized a lot on it. We have spent considerable effort on UI and UX, and we are working on our data lake where all the data can come in from different segments, different customers, and we can analyze and improve upon our machine learning models. The second thing is we are going to improve to put more effort on our product and AI enhancements, build everything into the AWS cloud and bring in all the models. That way, we would be able to bring in more models like dynamic pricing, like object detection, and a lot of customers that I have been talking to and Alec have been talking to, dynamic pricing is one thing which is attracting everybody. Can you give us a price which is relevant for us, which is relevant for our customer, and how much I should sell it for? That's a thing which airlines have solved, and this is a thing that we are trying to solve for our mid-sized customers. Once that is done, we are going to scale away data sources, and Alec and I have been working on that. So we are able to get data not just based on certain databases or certain systems. We are building an open API, so the data is not a problem for us because we are an AI company at the end of the day. And the last segment would be once we have built this infrastructure, we should be able to go more from retail and hospitality, more into insurance, automotive, and other segments easily. And next slide, please.
And on this point, Naresh is investing a lot on building insurance application webhook.
Oh, great.
You will be probably looking at your insurance use case where we can be able to integrate Profit Edge with that and bring it to the US market. So we talked about it and probably will have breakout meeting with Naresh and his technology team, how we'll do that for the insurance segment going forward.
So here is what we were talking about, the personalized pricing. And this is one of the interesting factors because it has not been done very easily because every company is different, every use case is different. And since we have been focused on certain two segments, we are able to take up certain models, certain data sets. And because we already have data sets from retail industry, we are putting it together to bring a holistic pricing strategy. Basically recommend you that optimal price that you need to keep up your revenue and reduce down your cost. And we can do it dynamically, and we can do it in real time. That's what we are trying to do, and we'll be launching it by the end of this quarter. Okay. And the second thing that, so basically this would be one of the key features that would be launching, and it is already attracting attention from a lot of customers. Next slide, please. The second feature that we are looking into is object detection. And this has already been existing with certain ML models already in the picture if you go to Google APIs and TensorFlow. But think about the scenario where a customer enters your hotel and you are able to track him and you can see, okay, how is he feeling? What is he eating? Where is he going? You would be able to really track that particular customer and promote him or give him feedback or advertise to him the way he is feeling, right? So that is not, the CCTV cameras are existing everywhere. It's more about putting that particular model on top of it and using Profit Edge to use it. So that's the key feature that we have been looking into. The second thing, the same object detection models are also working in the retail industry. Think about that is how many people are coming into your store. Where are they spending time? Are they spending time near your shirt or they are spending time near your trousers? So based on that, all the Profit Edge capabilities like basket analysis, like churn, everything comes into the same place. So that is a second feature we are looking into in the next quarter. And I didn't want to steal the thunder for Frank because he's been doing great work, but Frank has some personal issues, so I'll be
joining today, Web. Also, I'd like you to cover on behalf of Frank, and for everybody, Frank is our VP Technology. He has managed the cloud infrastructure. It was built on Oracle Cloud Generation 2, but now we have also tried and deployed on AWS Cloud. So it is omni-cloud deployment, and I really compliment Frank for doing this. So Vaibhav will work on his behalf as he was not able to join in.
So, sorry, so everything you think here is in AWS Cloud right now. And what happens is, let's walk through the very left. We have all the data sources coming in from public data sets, from the line of business systems, from CRM systems. So they all come into our S3, into our Amazon cloud. What happens from there is we have transformations built up at a scale, we already have some, and we are already in the process of building some, so which can run at any scale in the cloud. So they take that particular data from the left, transform the data, and put it into client data instances and our relational databases. So that's what you see at the top. And at the bottom, you see is Centriqe Data Lake. That contains all the data from everywhere coming around in a fashion where it can be used by our machine learning models, because all the magic that you see, all the pricing, dynamic pricing, object detection, segmentation, the magic behind Centriqe is done through that particular data, and Centriqe Data Lake is the powering source behind it. And everything is running on the AI ML and the SageMaker and Databricks. What happens is all this goes into all this goes into the Profit Edge, and then we have contained CI/CD pipelines running around. So basically, anything that is coded is tested and upgraded and put it into Profit Edge. So that's the structure that we have built up and followed. So that way we can scale up our system, scale up our features pretty much easily and without least amount of bugs, I would say. Next slide, please. And Frank and Dilip has made this multi-tenant architecture. Basically, we have a Centriqe central management, like the data lake that I was talking about, and then we have shared instances in North America and India as of now. Based on customer requirements, sometimes we keep the data in the same instances, or sometimes we move each customer can have their own database instance. But it's more about the security.
So thank you so much, Vaibhav, for giving the extended team a good picture of where we are leading, how you are defining the product strategy, the roadmap, and what are the competitive knockoffs. Now is the time where Jignesh is coming to showcase what are the retail and hospitality use cases. Now, this is the very important segment where all our sales leaders will be walking away. And Jignesh comes from Oracle. He has spent almost over 15 years at Oracle development, and he is the AI BI person from Oracle. Now he's leading the initiative at Google, but he's supported. He comes to Centriqe as advisor and very much keen, avid supporter of the Centriqe initiative which we are doing. So Jignesh, go ahead and talk about how you are going to build this use cases around.
Thanks, Alex, and thanks, Tim. Great to meet you. So what I'm coming up with the Centriqe is, as you hear, a lot of innovation and human-centric approach to the Profit Edge product portfolio. The goal for me to is really help you sell it better, right? How do we generate business value-driven solutions that you can go and talk it to customer and have conveyed the right messages to make our product easily flow with their business objective, right? So that's the goal that I'm coming up with the Centriqe. So what I'm going to focus mostly in a two fashion with the Centriqe. One is to immediate impact through a persona based use cases that helps you drive sales talk with the customers, right? The assets and the resources that I'll be focusing to help around key sales plays. Basically, what are the key value driven features and the functionalities we have to talk about with the customers existing use cases, and the way we will be delivering those use cases, you're really talking through the CMOs or marketing analyst or financial officer or financial analyst, and how do they see our product from all the way from basic analysis to statistical analysis to get real business objective driven value to take actions against those analyses through predictiveness and prescription, right? So think about the use cases from basic profit analysis to really take actions through our profit edge optimizer, whether you want to optimize revenue or cost. From basic analysis of customer sentiments or churn analysis to how do we go and help customer drive more customer acquisition or upsell promotions, right? So those are kind of end-to-end use cases I will be focusing to build assets around. It will be real assets with respect to demo scripts, and the key sales play to go with each of those use cases that helps you drive sales with our customers or acquire new customers. That will be the immediate next 3 months of my actions, focusing purely about retail and hospitality verticals that Alak and Vaibhav highlighted, right? And I will carry over those strategy to more verticals and more use cases as we scale forward with our product. Next slide, Alak, please. And this is how kind of a very high level messaging for our customer, right? We are building a end user driven, value driven platform, right? So the people we are talking to is really a key decision maker, whether it's in marketing, finance, operations, but we are talking to a human who are in need of making business decisions to drive more value, right? So when we talk about profit edge, this is very high level slide you can convey to our customer that there is a platform with a lot of rich functionality and built-in AI models based on a particular use cases specific to retail or hospitality and other verticals as we move forward. And the way we are building it is through a building blocks, which can be easily extended to more and more use cases, right? And the most important is how it generates value, right? Every company who's trying to be taking advantage of technology to generate better value for their business, driving quicker decision, driving better profitability, have a absolute need to leverage this AI driven technology to help them, right? To be ahead of competition. And that's where our platform helps. Next slide, Alec, please. This is one level drill down to the previous slide, right? So these are the building blocks that Weber was kind of highlighting in technical side. This is more of a business view on that to convey, right, how we are building these end-to-end AI solutions and use cases using our platform, right? Like mentioned, we are taking our solutions as a cloud agnostic, so customer do not have to worry about any kind of infrastructure behind the scene where we are running it, right? The platform and the building block around AI foundation is where we are putting a lot of investment around building many different kind of ML and AI models with different use cases to solve, like profit optimizer or basket analysis or basket growth, and a lot of other models that are comes with our product, which are also extendable, right? And at the end, what customer is really getting is actionable solutions with retail and hospitality use cases to drive profit, personal promotions, the cost optimization, operation optimization, right? So those are the end user solutions that we are going to talk about, and there will be assets for you to take it forward with the customer. Next slide. So these are some of the key features that we already have today, and there will be a demo assets and demo scripts to go with it. And that will be one of my primary goal for you, for Centriqe, to deliver and enable our sales, extended sales team to how do we make it easy for you guys to talk and demo the key value that Profit has to offer, leveraging end-to-end use cases, right? For example, basic retail analytics or revenue prediction to a profit optimizer, right? From basic churn analysis to customer acquisition, or basic basket analysis to basket growth, or even dynamic pricing that Vaibhav mentioned, right? How do you help customer make better decision and take real actions to drive business growth, right? So these are some of the use cases um, which are highlighted in the bold are already there, but we are going to have a demos and assets to go with it to talk with the customer very effectively. Next slide, please. Yeah, I think this yeah, it's just highlighting the demo assets. So one of the other area besides the sales assets, sales plays, battle cards, all that, uh, one of the area that I'll be investing more around building a full demo environment to go with it, which will be deployed with all those use cases that we should be able to demo very quickly. All right. So as assets, we'll be having the demo environment to go with other assets, right?
So, Jignesh, it might be a good idea to demonstrate the capability just to give them the flavor and let me walk them through, right? So if
Sounds
you
good.
see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
screen,
absolutely. Go ahead.
yeah. So since Thomas is joining for the first time and he's leading the Middle East and Africa sales as executive vice president, I need to highlight the simplicity of this application. So let's say if a hotelier, this is the hotel instance I have logged in. However, I can log into the retail instance for the retailer as well. So this is
Alak,
Alec,
you're
you have
not
to share the screen.
oh
sharing.
okay. Oh sorry, just give me a second. All right, just give me a second. Let me know if you can see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say if I have logged in as Dilip and I'm going on to the fancy hotel, right? So fancy hotels, here you can see that I have a choice to log in as many companies. So I can multi-tenancy, so I can go to Jade Blue, I can go to Signum Hotel. But for the example of demo, I'm logging into fancy hotel, and this is where I wanted to go to fancy hotel. Now, once I log in here, I have given very simple user navigation path. Now, you all will understand that this is the organization setup, system setup, but let's stay here for, first of all, insights. Now, insight is advanced analytics, which is giving us the customer summary. Now, customer summary comes from the data coming in from point of sale, the customer CRM system, the customer transaction system, and we are organizing that by all of those. So you can think of PMS system is giving us the customer length of stay and giving us the guest profile by loyal guest, frequent guest, and whatnot. Now I can further go on to say by revenue. What is the occupancy rate in this hotel? Right? So we are looking at occupancy rate by day, by month, by week, and all of that. Now, further to that, I can also look at the cost element, the gross profit, all of that getting set up. But if I wanted to go to Profit Edge, which is the AI product, which is announced in Profit Edge 1.0, you have revenue prediction. Now, revenue prediction, which is available based on the data coming in from the PMS system, from all your reservation system, and that is where you are getting this quick view that what is my actual revenue, what is my maximum predicted revenue, and what is my medium predicted revenue, and then what is actual. So there is a variance between prediction. Most of the industry leaders confirm to me that as long as 90% you are accurate, we are very happy about it, right? So that means we are training the data to have the actual prediction. Prediction should be closer to actual revenue, and they are very happy to take action based on that. So if we are giving the prediction by revenue, we can also give them that which guests are coming, what service they should offer to. So that corrective action they can take. And then we are also giving all those toolings. So now you have conversational analytics, which is a chat bot. Now, JetBlue has deployed the chatbot, which is coming up and helping them to interact with the guest. So now you can see here, this is the JetBlue customer, and now they have the chatbot powered by Centriqe. Now, welcome to chat. All of that. Are you comfortable to share your name, detail? It's all capturing the name and input here. I don't want to, take you. You know that what I'm talking about. But what matters to hotel or JetBlue is like getting conversational analysis. What detailed conversation has taken between the chatbot and your conversation here is coming to the respective person with the workflow. This is very important, what we call NLP based conversation analytics, which gives them the intelligence for the general manager or operation manager or the marketing manager to take care of the conversation, what's happening in real time. Then we do have communication product, which enables you to set up your templates. Now, I'm not going to create the template, but walking you through what you should be able to do that through the powerful email. Drag and drop. Everybody's familiar with how you can create the email and then use the configuration setup to pick up your data set, which is email, the CRM system, to communicate with automated. This is your communication setup. Response AI is giving us the same feedback, and then NPS and so on. So this gives you a great view of in terms of how we are able to manage your hotel business for hotel segment. I can also go to the retail segment. Now let's see if I'm logging in again and trying to give you the sense of how you can go to retail segment. Now retail business is something different. Now this demo would be available for the retail. Now, the moment I go to the retail business, my entire segment changes. My labeling changes. My complete flow changes. How I'm giving the customer average net revenue per visits, who are my champions, who are my loyal, who are my potential, all of that by store. I can go by stores. I can go by geography. And you can see that this gives me a good sense of my business on hand, right? But how my next week is looking like for my revenue, I should go for my revenue prediction. Now, revenue prediction by a store, by customer, by department, this is where I can be able to give the benefits to the retail operation head. Now, Choitram we are talking about, the mass jewelers we are talking to, Landmark we are talking to, they are all saying that what you have shown on the BI is good, but this is intriguing. Because if you can help us to predict in terms of which customer, where are we are going to get revenue so that we can plan our inventory, we can plan our stores, we can plan our all merchandise so that we are not in short supply or we are not keeping enough inventory, which is carrying cost. So all of this messaging goes very well for the retailers, right? So this demo, what Jignesh talked about, is coming to you, and it will be self-service demo server available to you so that you can walk to your customer directly as we go along, right? So that gives you the flavor of demo. Now let me go back to our, uh, uh, you know,
Alec, can you go back to the hospitality demo?
yes,
I think
please.
the benefit of everybody, let's clarify something for them.
Yes. Okay, so I'm now in your demo. Yeah.
Let's go to the insight.
Okay, let me go to the hotel first. Okay, now we are
You
in.
can get objections there.
Yeah.
So the moment you do objections here, the customer, the revenue, can you just click on those?
Yeah, so you have customer and customer profile. So you
Yes.
can profile the guest who
So
are
what I'm
coming.
trying to convey is some of these things could be overlapping with PMS. So you may, what I'm talking about this is as sales, you may get an objection from the customers saying that I already have this, but he doesn't have, there will be one or two overlaps here, but then here he gets everything far beyond, which he will not get in any PMS. So those objections is what I would just like you
Yes,
to highlight them.
very good point. Very good point. Yeah, because this there was some you have to build AI based on the BI, right? Unless we know the root cause where it is, we can't predict, we can't prescribe, we can't take actions. So all of this is showing you where are
Particularly
we
the revenue one.
predicting.
Click on
Right?
this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you can see here average daily rate. We are also showing all the details of the hotel. Where is your average daily rate in terms of your room rate? How many rooms sold at what rate? You are getting all the details which is coming out from PMS system, right? Now,
Right.
prediction part, average length of stay, how many guests are staying, what is the average length of stay. But this PMS may be giving, but is it available on demand on the smart devices? Questions.
So the
Those are
point is
report.
not that. The point is this is past data. The whole objective is not the past. The objective is to predict, as you
Exactly.
rightly said. So
Ex-
this is the past data. You will get it. That's only after the event has already happened. The objective is to tell the hotel what to expect in the future based on the. So you use various past data plus the other areas to really do a prediction forward. So it's just the hotel may have only this much, but now the semantics, etc., they will not have that data. So the
Yes.
analysis is far beyond just this data. So as an objection, when you have with the PMS, etc., yes, and they may not have the level of depth that you're going to see here. That's all. I just want to cover that.
And
Yeah.
Naresh,
Yeah.
this
So this
point
is Dilip here.
yeah,
This is
Dilip.
Dilip here. Exactly the point. Insight generally tells you possibly it's sort of a BI part.
Yeah.
That becomes the foundation for the basically a profit age in terms of the recommendations, because in the BI part, whatever we identified along with the prediction tells you if you continue to go on that path, what is going to happen. But then the recommendation, when it comes, it refers to all that insight and project it what actions you need to perform. So it's a linkage to the basically insight which gives it to a profit age. Okay.
Excellent. So
You
that
know,
brings us way of Dilip. And
Alak,
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
I will soon have to drop off, but first of all, I want to compliment Dilip for having done a great job in the execution of this product. But the last point he was making to Naresh's comments is very critical. Not only does it give you a forecast of what to expect in the future, it also gives you predictive strategies of what you can use in order to improve your business.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Very
Thanks,
true.
Atik.
Yeah. Atik,
Thanks, Alak.
thank you for
Just
your
go to the
time.
next.
Yeah.
So I'll be keeping my basically comments brief because Alak has already walked you to the entire product. But Alak, can you just go to the next slide?
Yeah.
So as far as what I will like to highlight is the Vaibhav has already basically specified the product. So we have basically we follow the agile approach. Every 2 weeks, we basically ensure that there is a new functionalities are added. Every quarter, we come up with the basically a new release, which is going to be the sort of a major one where we'll be having the lot of things, and we of course follow the CI/CD pipeline. And as everybody outlined, basically it is the thing. We have a solid execution team. It has been basically supported by the Frank in terms of the technology. We have a Don, which will be talking after me now about the data science part of it. And we have a development team, which is coming from an offshore. And our focus right now, we released the first version of the Profit Age, which is the revenue maximizer and cost optimizer product and profitability. But our next portion of the action, which we'll be spending, is a couple of things, which I will like to is the recommendations, getting stronger on the recommendations in the retail, as well as basically on the hospitality, and giving up that recommendations, a prescriptive simulations also, which is in a way we are saying that these are the recommendations, and then one can basically estimate based upon that what can happen. Now, if you don't decide to change, we already gave in prediction what will happen. So that is what our focus will be in the next quarter to complete that basically story. And then, of course, basically help the product roadmap, which has been outlined by the Vaibhav, as well as work with the Jignesh to make the basically a demo model, which can be applicable for you to, you can use it in your sales basically with the use cases completely demonstrated. That is what we will be focusing it in the next quarter completely.
Thank you so much, Dilip. Moving along, we have Don now, who is really putting the entire AI brain behind the data models behind to make Profit Edge more powerful. So, Don, can you walk us through what you have done and what the message for the sales team?
Sure. Well, I mean, we have gone through many of the powerful tools of Profit Edge, and there's so much power built on AI and ML. But the one thing we're focused on now is dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing is a replacement for the one product, one price strategy. Imagine how much more powerful your pricing strategy is when you incorporate customer response of a price, when you incorporate what that segment that customer belongs to. Capacity, inventory, what the competitor response is to be. If you can build all that data into your pricing strategy, you can go so much further to maximize your revenue. And that's one thing we're doing now with dynamic pricing is we're building this neural network that takes all that data into consideration and helps the client set that price in a way to maximize both sales and revenue. And that's the one thing we're working on now, and that should be released very shortly to the Profit Edge platform.
And Don Choitram has looked at it. Vijay in the meeting is there with us. Dynamic pricing has been developed. We would like to showcase to the team because Choitram is case in point with 100 plus stores, and their operation head has talked about how we can build personalized and dynamic pricing. Can you just give them the glimpse of it? Don?
Yeah,
Just,
let me see if I have that up available for you.
Yeah.
And keeping in mind when you see this is the stripped down version of it. The actual neural network is something you would not see. It is a kind of a behind the scenes machine that is generating these prices into the client's pricing platform. But if I were to show you kind of what it looks like.
Don, you may have to share your screen.
Yeah, I'm still pulling it up here. It takes a while to start the engine. Okay, it looks like it's going to take a second for me to start this up. Alec, why don't you take it over and I can let you know when it's back on. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
It just takes sometimes a second to get this going. So what this is just we're taking the price quantity data of past sales of a product from a client, looking at that data, developing a demand function, and then incorporating more variables into it. So the neural network is going to look at each of these inputs and assign a weight to it. And that weight is going to help generate the ideal price for that product. So we can look at the customer segment and see that if it's an at-risk client or an at-risk customer, we're looking at something like $19.20 for this particular product, where if we look at it for a champion, we raise that price to $19.35. It's a small difference, but over the course of the entire sales year, that can amount to tens of thousands of dollars. So looking at customer response, looking at seasonal spikes, are we off peak? Are we in normal times? Are we in a holiday time where the price can be even higher? Looking at each of those items, and this is just a small list, the actual list is in the dozens, building those into the engine, into the neural network, assigning those weights that have proven to be most responsive to moving customer demand. What we develop is the ideal optimization pricing for that product, for that hotel room, for that whatever space we're working in.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That gives the flavor of what we have in store. Depending on the data set, what we get, we can do wonders with that. Thank you so much, Don, for your showcase of this. Moving on, we have also enabled sales with digital strategy, right? So we have now Ashish Ranjan, who is really helping Centriqe for last 1 year. And he is building the brand called Centriqe Profit Edge, how you see on the digital presence, what you see on in terms of our go-to-market. Now, Ashish has got a vision here. So Ashish, can you talk about or you can share your screen yourself?
Sure, sir. Thank you, first of all, for giving the opportunity to talk here. And hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, I'll just share my screen and I'll just give you a break. Just give me a moment. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
So first of all, I'll guide you through what we have executed till now in a short and crisp manner. So our main focus area has been LinkedIn, as our business is more towards the business professionals, and we are looking into we have got a persona of B2B. So yes, strong focus on LinkedIn. Last year we organized plenty of webinars, so webinar promotions we did a lot. There were organic promotion. We also invested paid amount in order to do those webinar promotions. Then consistent apt organic postings. We proceeded. We finalized the posting patterns, frequency, how and what message we would be communicating to our prospects. Then use case of LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is really coming up well, and it's defining how we would be connecting with our prospects and boosting the sales team with more and more leads for the business. Website part, as Vaibhav was discussing, we had a lot of R&D session in terms of what sort of UI UX would be better for Centriqe. We After looking at all the global leaders, we came up to a good UI UX design, which we have fully developed, and our website is completely live right now with all the enhancements which we have been doing for past 3 to 6 months. Other activities, yes, we have started bit on Facebook, but yes, it's not of that importance right now. We are ensuring that our presence is everywhere. We are ensuring that we are present on all the channels which our users might see. So brand visibility being the focus, we are ensuring that all the channels which are right for us, we are covering those channels. We also worked on some case study creations in the past along with the sales team to boost up to keep our sales kit ready for the existing sales team to connect with our customers and then do the pitching accordingly. Coming up in our next, if I'll talk about next quarter, we are very laser focused towards sales part. We want to boost up sales team with proper apt lead. Already using Sales Navigator, we have identified 1,000+ prospects funnel in the hospitality and retail segment, as these are the focused area for Centriqe, and we are touching upon these prospects with niche messaging, calendarly meeting invites, and we are trying to build a discussion among these prospects in order to initiate a prospect for the business. In website part, we are also working towards some good professional videos which can explain the features, capability of our tool, and can attract and bring in more and more leads, which would be ultimately boosting the sales. We are also looking at fine tuning of website and all the relevant channels as per the data which we are gathering, web traffic data, and through whatever mediums, whatever traffic we are getting, we are keeping a close eye on all the tractions we are getting, and accordingly we are planning our changes and the optimizations accordingly. In terms of other activities, right now in next quarter we would be also looking at full-fledged SEO work in order to boost Centriqe presence in Google search engine, as majority of traffic is driven by Google. So we are in our this quarter plan is crystal clear to be laser focused towards sales and visibility, brand reach. If it'll come here, all these objectives: brand reach, brand visibility, building the audience digitally, building awareness about Centriqe, product awareness, what does actually Profit Edge do, how it is actually changing the life of the business owners, how it is bringing everything to a single click on your mobile phone or desktop, wherever you are. Then about analyzing, bringing in good traffic, ultimately that would only help us in bringing more and more prospects and leads. And obviously those who have already come to us but not have engaged, remarket them, keep them engaged, so that today or tomorrow, definitely if they have the requirement, they would definitely come to us and try our product. And in
So
order to do so,
Ashish,
yes, yes,
let's show them the action, what we have done, right? So let me just show LinkedIn Navigator, right?
sure,
That
sure.
that way, what will happen? They will get a feel that what you have done so well. Now, what he was talking about, Sales Navigator, he has mapped all of those leads here. Now you can see that over thousands of retail leads, and Ashish assigned the team which is working and reaching out to CEO, CFO, all of them, right? And when it goes, what kind of messaging is sent to them? So, hey, Michael, hope you are doing wonders, stumbling like this. Look at the message which goes on there, and thank you so much for accepting that this is the next message that which goes in. Centric recently launched its flagship product, and it is and something like that he's describing. This is which is generating a lot of calendar invite for me. Look at what Ashish has done. The moment customer, CFO, CEO, direct messaging is coming, look at the message it's coming here. You have survived the biggest pandemic. Your business is thriving. However, customers expect much more. Suppliers are squeezing you, right? Profits are shrinking with while costs are mounting. Now, we bring latest technology and research in one product, Profit Edge. Profit Edge manages your unique business profitability while you grow your business. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation with our experts. Today is 28th. If I want to schedule that, immediately my time. This is Alak calendar, which is getting blocked. This is the unique value I am getting as a sales leader. In the Middle East, Vijay or let's say Thomas, George, or anybody wants to do that, we will enable that same thing to your calendar as well. Think about how powerful we are getting to communicate digitally to our decision makers. This is what the power of the digital marketing which Ashish is supporting us. Okay, so that being said, let me anything else you like to add up? Uh,
No, that would be also, yes, just would conclude by saying that yes, in next quarter, our targets are crystal clear. We are laser focused towards sales, and whatever ways digitally we can support the team, we are ensuring, and our roadmap is crystal clear that. And yes, good signs, as you can already see that we have identified 1,000 plus prospects. So we are looking at almost 10,000 prospect bucket creation in next till next quarter, and definitely there would be conversion from there.
Very good. Thank you so much, Ashish. I'm proud of you, what you have done, and your team is doing continuously. Every week, I'm getting some status report on that. So with that, I'm now requesting Naresh to talk about what's going to be our Middle East strategy, how we are going to grow in our business there. So Naresh, you can share your slide.
Sure. Okay, visible?
1 second. Not yet. Yes, it is.
All right. So what I've done, Alak, is as you already introduced into tech, so reducing that part of the. So thank you very much, Alak, for having us on board and taking on this one as a partner. So what I've done is I've removed what's Intertech background and all that. You've already spoken enough about it, and I think quite a lot of Intertech employees are there, so they don't need a briefing about that. But what's most important is where direction and where we are heading and what's going on. I think that's important for everybody to know where we are.
Yeah.
So basically, there are three pillars at Intertech from this year we've decided to move into. Driving efficiency is basically which has been predominantly where we were as an SI. So these are run rate sort of business, which is the managed services, infrastructure, and so on. So there is where we're focusing in more of efficiency, but objective to drive is experience and innovation. So under the experience falls the various categories, but where does Centriqe fall is part of our innovation business, which is AI analytics. So our focus on that business is to continuously grow that part of the business. So if we look at this year itself, our objective within that sector is about 3% of our revenues will fall under innovation, keep going on from there onwards to something like 15% over the next 3 years. So that's where comes in AI analytics is right now is nothing else but Centriqe is the focus. And that's where you will see the GTM, what we are planning to do, what's happening and where we are going. Second area is very important for us as a company is to see industry accelerators and the IPs. So that's what you just talked about insurance. Insurance is a sector where we are investing, building up the complete application on the core insurance sector itself. So that's what will help on the general insurance and the life insurance. So both of those sectors is where we are looking at. Hopefully by middle of this year, we will have the general insurance ready to look at. By the end of the year, the life insurance to look at. So I think that's where Centriqe will play a good role of building that analytics on top of it. So as a single product, it could be positioned into the marketplace there. So that's something we would look at. That's what we talked about. And I think Webo has talked about that one on the insurance as one of the sectors. Makes a lot of sense as a vertical sector to go into. What are we doing as market approach? So we have expanded our sales team across the GCC. We have Vijay as the dedicated retail leader on that side. So that's something, there's a focus on the retail. He and his sales team, along with the direction which will happen from Thomas, but that's the focus there. So having a senior person like Vijay driving it. So that means we are serious about the whole business. Similarly, there's a focus on the hospitality sector within the region. We have our own customers. We can look at cross-sell to our existing customers as well as existing customers to grow. Objective is with all of this is to grow your pipeline on a continuous basis. You've already showcased some of the pipeline. So that was the objective by end of Q1 on Profit Edge. We should double our pipeline from where we were by December last year. Not only that, we're looking at our pre-sales team. How do we cross-train them from what they are doing? So we don't have to depend on your pre-sales to come over. So that's something we need to put a plan together that in Q1, so the local timings can be met, they can be discussed, etc. So we don't have to wait time difference and so on. And only your team should get involved at the second level after the qualification, all that is done. So that's something we need to plan and take it on. Objective is to create a first reference in the retail, hopefully in this quarter, and similarly another reference in the hospitality by the next quarter. So that'll be a good breakthrough for the Middle East. It becomes a reference to go on to build the additional business. This is something what is the plan, and I'll let Vijay talk about it as he's leading it. I don't want to take his responsibility here. So Vijay, I'll leave you to talk about it.
Thank you, Naresh. So, so this is the approach that we are having in Middle East to take Centriqe across the segment. We all have very clearly talked about that retail and hospitality are the two areas where we are focusing Centriqe on. With our discussions with customers, we have been able to successfully identify use cases which we are taking. In retail, we are particularly focusing on store analytics to start with. And within store analytics also, we have defined some use cases on POS, how to increase or enhance revenues at the POS machine, POS level itself. E-commerce use cases, there are use cases which we have identified on the supply chain side. Customer loyalty of course was there in Webov's as well as Jignesh deck as well. Loyalty is one area where we can definitely do a lot around it. This the industry in Middle East is only there are few solutions which are mature, but there are many more which are trying to get there. So loyalty, returns management is another area where we are focusing on the use cases. Churn analytics, customer churn analytics. demand supply, SKU level analytics. These are few use cases which we have identified where we are focusing with our customers in the Middle East region. Next, another area which we have identified is missing in the Middle East in the retail sector is omni-channel experience. A lot of customers are not having a data integration across channels, and omni-channel is the need of the hour. While there are solutions, Microsoft is customer insights is there. There are other solutions also which can cater to this demand, but definitely they are at a level which many retail players are not able to afford, and not planning to take head on at this moment, because they understand with players like Microsoft, SAP, etc. There are other challenges which come in picture. So that's why they are keen to explore this with Centriqe and Intertech, and we find some traction in that domain as well. So few decision makers where we are working with our customers are the business heads, and data and analytics heads are the people who are supporting us in this domain. Also, I would like to highlight the timeline and the business that we are planning. We are planning to acquire at least one customer in the next 3 months in Middle East, so that which gives us a reference point or a target point. We had some good discussions with one of the jewelry customers, with one of the retail customers. So few areas where we are having some good traction with the customers, and we are also learning by the day on what are the challenges that this market is bringing to the entire story. So our target is to get at least one customer in the next 3 months. Of course, we will aim to get it in this quarter itself, as Naresh said, but at least the POC level to the start of it. But of course, fully onboarded, a successful use case by the next 3 months. And by the end of this year, we are planning to at least have 3 or more additional customers beyond this customer. So if in 2022 we want to have at least 3 to 5 customers in Middle East successfully running on Centriqe. This is the target that we have put in for ourselves. Also, size of the customer is also important. We are not targeting a very small customer which cannot be made as a reference point, or we are also not targeting a huge customer where it becomes difficult for them to adopt with limited reference point for Centriqe at the moment. So we have identified some mid-sized customers. To give an example, like we spoke with Apparel Group, while Apparel Group is one of the large retailers with almost 2,000 stores. But within Apparel Group, we have identified a brand, Tim Hortons, where we have identified few use cases with them and trying to target there. So this is the strategy that we are working on the ground with our customers. Of course, technology adoption, what we have seen is it is still nascent stage. There are levers and there are candidates where we can hit hard and we can work, but there are also competition products, as we talked about, which we see in the market are there, but are used by the high-end market, not by the mid-size customers at the moment where we are targeting. As rightly highlighted by Alak, Frank, and other members, that the integrated predictive analytics and the prescriptive analytics which Centriqe brings in is very unique in our product, which we are trying to highlight to our customers and get it up. So this is the thought process from our side. More than happy to accommodate and align with any other thoughts or suggestions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Naresh, and for your leadership. Thank you so much, Vijay, for consistent support extended here. And we are really looking forward to having first account as soon as possible so that I can really come over there, finalize it, and make some announcement out there. Moving on, so let's see what we have planned for North America, right? So North America is still, I'm in search of a sales leadership. And I will talk about, we have Jeff Hurley listening to this meeting. So what is the plan unfolding in North America? We are growing business with SI partnership. So obviously we have 25 trajectories. We have already got the agreement in place. I'm negotiating and discussing with yet another system integrator, which is a good size system integrator. They have looked at it and they came to meet with all of our team members. They have also an appetite to invest in us. All of that good thing is happening. But the important part of it, I am filling the gap of a sales leadership. I have to fill that position ASAP. I have identified a person right in the meeting, Jeff Hurley. Jeff, would you like to introduce yourself just briefly to the team while we are continuing our dialogue?
Hello, everybody. My name is Jeff Hurley. I'm actually from Metro Detroit area, and we've talked twice now. I'm actually very interested. You guys have done a great job with where you're at with the organization. I'm very impressed. I was in the business of corporate housing for 30 years. I built it to an international company. We had 11 offices around the world, and we sold that company 3 years ago. Today, I'm an avid investor in companies, and I own I guess a handful of real estate pieces and some small businesses. And any questions?
And Jeff is really seeing a lot of values to grow the business with Centriqe in hospitality. So if all goes well, Jeff would be leading our, the business growth initiative for the hospitality, right, Jeff?
That's correct.
Yes. So we'll continue that conversation. So I thought that he should meet all of us together, and you all should meet who are we talking in North America for business leadership. So that if everyone gives me a good kind of a conversation, then we'll move ahead and we'll finalize so that Jeff comes on board sooner or later. So that's about the plan which I'm unfolding. Now let's see what I'm further down the track which I'm highlighting here. We do have healthy pipeline, as I mentioned, for North America. I'm negotiating a very large deal. All of you are aware, including all our shareholders, all our management leaders, and all our Naresis team is aware as well. Most likely tomorrow, this deal will be closed. Pricing negotiation, investment negotiation. They are talking about 110 hotels. They are New York based. So if all goes well, I'll be flying down to New York this week to nail down the specifics, right? So this is out, and then we to continue to expand further. Now I'm talking to large retailers out of UK, and they are again large conglomerate in the liquor business. Our management leadership is fully familiar what we are doing with them, how they have come forward and discussed, and I'm following up with them. So these are all good things are happening towards the business as we are closing this, as we are moving ahead this particular quarter. Now I have distinguished member of this board, which is Dr. Professor Sinha, who has been guiding us, and he has some thoughts around what should we do for the business growth. So Piyushji, would you like to talk about what you have seen evolution of this retail industry, how you have baked Centriqe platform and product together, and now how the customers have started witnessing the value of it?
Hi everybody, and Alak and everyone, I'm so happy looking at the presentation today because it's almost like unfolding of the dreams that you think of when you're thinking like a retailer. And I'm thinking like a retailer here. And in fact, if you ask me frankly, I thought I was in my class. I was taking a class on retail. And you're actually explaining all those things, and when we're looking at the product, the way it is developed. And that's why I think I'm so happy that we have worked together so hard to make it happen. I must congratulate the whole team here for one simple reason, that we have not been agile, but also been a learning organization. We are picking up and learning so fast, and then implementing our learning quickly to make sure that we have a great product. And at least the Jade Blue, where I'm fully associated with, we can see the results that's coming in, and we can see how happy the owner of the business is. So that gives me the confidence that the discussion that you're having with Jyotiram will definitely go through very, very well. What I want to bring at this point in time is that, now I'm talking like a salesman, as simple as that. All of us are salespeople, so I'm saying, if I get a new product, what would I do? As simple as that. If the moment I get a new product, I don't see it as a product. I see an opportunity of how I can actually go into the marketplace and create a whole new story for myself. So 3 things which comes very clearly, that I'm using new product to expand the market. I'm using new product to penetrate the current market. And I'm also using new product to deepen the customer relationship. Right? So existing customers, existing market, and new markets. All the three become open to me the moment I have a new product. It's also an opportunity for us to redefine what we are. So as a partner, right, we are also bringing a new product to say, look, we are not what we were yesterday. Today we are a different company. And therefore, as a salesperson, I'm redefining every day when I get a new product. That's the biggest motivation I get when as a salesperson, which is what essentially is saying that not only it increases my business results, but this product is going to, new product is going to increase the business results for my customers. So customers is what we're talking about. Customers and customers. Can we do that? And we know that very clearly. You have seen the underlying four things which are driving the whole product development is how do I enhance sales, how do I increase market share, how do I enhance customer loyalty, and how do I increase brand resilience. The other four things which you can see as the basic benefit that the profit edge as a complete suite will give to us when I go into the market. That's what I'm seeing. Next slide, Alan. So what do I do here? Why I'm loving this particular product? Any product which comes to me, and if I'm a buyer, as a buyer, if it has a clear value proposition, very clear value proposition, it becomes very easy for me to really listen, even listen to the person who's talking about it. So absolutely cutting edge product. As even Atik also mentioned that very few people are at this stage who are thinking that way. And I must congratulate Alak and the whole team for this. Clear value propositions. A lot of people meet me, from the same AI field and other fields and say, look, I've got a product, what can it do? They are fuzzy about what it can do. But here we have very clear value proposition. And these are value propositions, both tangible and intangible. And these value propositions are in consonance with the business objective of the companies, which means that as a salesman, I can very clearly establish the ROI that the customer will get from my product. Right? The other thing that we have is that although we are talking about profit edge, but the complete Centriqe suite that we have gives me an opportunity for bundling, coupling, decoupling, very easy to integrate with customer demand. So we're not saying we got one product. When we are calling it as one product, we don't have a one product here. We have multiple solutions in the same product. So at this point in time, I think these are some of the things that I would look at whenever I'm sitting through a pitch of new product or new startups. There are a few things that I look for, and here is what I think Alak, your team has built very well on this. So I'm very sure that once you hit the market, you will run very fast. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed. I really appreciate it. And this means a lot to our team. And that concludes the segment of our kickoff now. I really thank all of you for the patient listening and hope this has delivered a good values. As we are kicking off this fiscal year, I am fully charged, motivated, and empowered. And our management leaders are fully empowered to take decisions. So you have seen that we have brought in all seasoned professionals from industry, Accenture, Oracle, Google, and industry verticals all coming together to make this company successful. So I'm really looking forward to working with all of us, very coherent, so that we meet the objective of customer delight. That's what matters for all of us. I think we have done very well on time. And any questions anybody has, which we can take for anybody. This is just a Q&A, just a few minutes.
So before Q&A, Alak, congratulations to you, Dilip, and full team. I know when we met 2 years back and where we are today is a big difference. And good courage and good doing.
It is all possible due to help, motivation, and support from you, Naresh. I remember that day very clearly. We had a coffee, and you said, "Alak, you can do it. Just go for it." And that word has really, written on my mind that I have to do it, and that's what we are here. So right from the day one, Piyush ji and Naresh has been the source of energy, which I'm running with, and now you all are behind. Helping us. So I am having full confidence that this company is making. We all will be participating the fruit of it. We are all our shareholders. We are all our beneficiaries of it, and we'll make it big. We are all going to make it big. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Thank you very much. So the recording will be available. It will be posted on the link as well, so that we all can listen in on demand. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.